Hello everyone, this is Anna Carter at Rose River Way Studio, and I'm here for this week's 5-minute watercolor tutorial. So today I thought we'd mix it up a little bit, and I wanted to try doing a little landscape. So I'm gonna use just one tool here. I've just got a little white dish bowl, and this is gonna help me get a perfect circle for my painting. So I'm going to outline my circle with pen. If you want to use pencils so that you can erase it later, that would be awesome. There we go. Now I've got my perfect circle and I can get started. Alright, so I'm using number 4 brush, round brush here, and the first thing I always do is get your brush wet. Now I want this painting to be pretty fluid, and when you're doing landscape paintings, I almost always start by just getting my paper wet first. So I'm going to start about halfway through my circle, and I'm just getting a nice glaze on here. And this painting, I actually want it to go outside of the circle a little bit. I think you'll understand what I'm going for once we get a little farther here, but I'm just painting halfway and I'm kind of tapering down in a triangle. We're gonna get a nice artsy effect here. Okay, so for this landscape I want to do like a nighttime water over the water, moon shining over the water type landscape. So I'm going for some blue I have, and I think I will just do straight up blue. So I got the paint on my brush, and I usually tell people to dip, mix, dip. So I got paint and then I dipped it back in the water to give me a nice flow. And so I'm gonna really gently just start making some strokes here, and I'm not filling it in all the way. I'm just painting inside of the area I've already gotten wet, and I'm going to follow that pattern. And so this is called wet on wet painting, and I would like this to flow a little bit more, so I'm going to clean my brush off, and just with clean water I'm going back over top of it because some of it dried while I was chatting. So I'm going back over top of my blue with just water, and this gives me a nice smudgy effect. And if I want to get slightly more definition, I can do that by going back to my blue and just poking in some color. This is one of my favorite things about watercolor. It's the fun effects you get with wet on wet painting. Okay, cool. So now I've got a little bit better definition there. So this is the water piece, and now I'm going to do the sky. And I would like this to be kind of a dusky blue. So I'm just mixing some black in with my blue to give it a more muted tone. And I want this to be a darker color value. I want it to stand out more and not be as transparent as this water section. So I've got a color I like in my palette, but again, I'm gonna go and just get my painting wet at the top. So I clean my brush off, and now I'm only painting inside of my circle here. And I'm avoiding one circle in the center, and I don't want to get that wet, and I accidentally did. Wasn't paying attention. So I'm going back with the paper towel, and I'm reserving a spot in the center where I would like to put a moon later. So I don't want to get that wet at all if I can avoid it, because I want that to be a distinct white moon. And so if I leave it dry, it'll give me a nice barrier there. Okay, so now the rest of my page is wet aside from that center part, and I'm going to go back to the color I already mixed. And for the sky, I want it to be more uniform, so I'm going to do broader strokes and try and get a flatter look to it. And this will, the texture difference will differentiate from the water reflection. And always paint less, and then you can move your brush in as you go. And I'm trying to follow this outside line. And I can always darken this later, so always start light. It's hard to take back paint you've already put down in watercolor, so start with less, start lighter, and then get darker. So I want to get a darker value than that, so I'm going back to my paint, and I'm going to go over everything again. And in doing this, if I focus on the outside edges and I bring the color in towards my moon, it will give me a hazy effect. It will give my moon like a halo, sort of. Okay. There we go. Okay, and then maybe just as the last piece here, I will draw in some of this darker value into my area down here, which is dried. And there you go. There's your 5-minute landscape painting of a moon. And you can touch this up. You can add stars in here or clouds if you have more time. So there's your little warm-up video, and subscribe if you'd like to see some more of these. Thanks a lot. Bye.